thank you, Renee, for joining us this morning for the first ever episode of our podcast Under One Roof with Mirai. So I'll let you tell me a little bit, about how long you've been in the industry and your brokerage.
Thanks for having me as well. It's indeed a pleasure to be here. So I've been in the real estate industry for in excess of, I would say, 7 years. Initially, I started buying homes, my husband and I buying homes, fixing them, what they call flipping,
Yeah.
flipping homes. And then I realized, I'm the vendor, I'm the purchaser, again, like vendor, purchaser. And then I just found this natural love for real estate. So I actually went to a very small brokerage in the East and I started working there. And then eventually I moved into my own brokerage, House Heroes Realty and Property Management. As you would know, we are the heroes of real estate and we are very proud of it. We have a very knowledgeable team of agents who are out there all the time, ensuring we assist homeowners navigate this complex space. Very often, when you're walking into a space to buy a home, there's a lot more than just looking at a home and then saying, I want to buy that.
Yeah.
Buying a home entails a lot of work, requires a lot of saving and planning. And as I always advise clients, when they call, there's a very structured way to do this. So what we do at House Heroes is we kind of put things into perspective for our clients. So for example, we have great relations with varying financial institutions. So if someone calls and we ask them, well, do you have a budget, for example, and they say, no, they don't. The first thing we do, we get them pre-qualified. We never want our clients getting disappointed. They walk into a home, they see a home, they fall in love with the home, and then just realize
they can't afford it.
Yeah, that's never a nice place for someone to be in.
Yeah.
So, we literally guide them and structure them step by step until they have their keys in their hand. And they invite me to do housewarming, of course.
So being in the industry for, more than 7 years and being the broker for House Heroes Realty and Property Management, I think that today we should talk about home buying essentials, what every buyer needs to know.
Right.
So before you go looking for a home, you need to know what type of home appeals to you, what's suitable for you.
Right.
So how do people know what type of home suits them? Based on their needs, whether they want a 2-story, an apartment, a flat.
So our clients become family because it's a journey we take with them, right? Yeah. So very often a client would come to you as a stranger and leave as a friend or family. They call you long after. Why? Someone wants to buy a home, but they don't necessarily know how to proceed. So first we start with their pre-qualification. That is definitely a necessary step. Then we establish a budget. Then we get to know them a little bit better. For example, asking questions like, hey, do you have enough down payment for this? A standard down payment is 10%. Can you afford it? They may say no, and that's okay, because at House Heroes, we're all about our customers. So what we try to do is say, hey, go back to the bank, see if you can pre-qualify for 99% financing. See if you can pre-qualify for 95% financing. There are also certain financial institutions that offer cashback dividends with a cashback dividend, which will cover their legal fees. And in some cases, if they're first-time homeowners, they have no stamp duty. So we advise, our knowledge, our expertise is what we pride ourselves on.
Yeah.
So that's one part of it. Then very often we have varying clients, so we look at their individual needs. Sometimes we have the empty nesters. Their children would have gone abroad to study, they're not returning, the house is too big for them, they're getting older, they don't need 5 bedrooms anymore, they just want to downsize, so they may just want something small, something flat, something that doesn't have a lot of yard maintenance. So that is definitely a clientele we cater to. We also have up and coming young couples. They would be looking for amenities. They're looking for good schools in the area. They're not looking for something too expensive because they have to consider extra cost outside of just the mortgage.
Yeah.
So we work with our clients based on their individual needs, and what we try to do is listen, most importantly, and meet those needs. Buying a home is not like going into a supermarket and buying a bag of bread. It's something that takes time. And as I said, it is a journey.
For sure. And based on the trends in the market right now, which type of homes do you feel is the most attractive on the market?
So what we are seeing as a result of an increase in crime, you are seeing persons looking for property in gated communities.
Right.
You're also seeing clients looking for something more modern and more updated. So sometimes we do have challenges with some of our older properties because in most cases, our clients may purchase for the location, but their first comment would be, I'll have to break this down and build something new.
Right.
So you do find that that is what they're looking for outside, of course, as I said, their personal needs. Like if their mom is going to live with them and their mom may not be able to climb a flight of stairs, they may need a bedroom and a bathroom downstairs. So it's always around our clients' individual needs. We really can't paint them with a broad brush.
Yeah. You mentioned that sometimes they would purchase a property and break down the structure. So how do persons know if they want a move-in ready home or if they prefer to do a fixer up?
More or less, budget.
Yeah.
I mean, every time we talk about money,
it all comes down to
it's
budget.
always, property is not something that's cheap.
Yeah.
Construction material is not something that's cheap. So basically, they would know their budget and what they're hoping to achieve. Remember, we also have commercial clients as well. So they would know their budget.
Yeah.
But more or less, you do have persons, like I just mentioned, my husband and myself, who love walking into a space and seeing the potential of the space and moving it from
vision.
So based on it, on the client's needs, you would have clients who will have the time and the foresight to buy a fixer-upper, move into that fixer-upper and bring it up to date. Then you also have clients who are saying, I'm way too busy, my corporate life would not allow me time for this disruption, or we have a newborn baby, we don't want dust. So yeah, more or less, that's how they would decide whether they want a fixer-upper or they want a brand new home.
So I want to ask you, what factors other than price makes neighborhoods in Trinidad, more desirable to some?
More or less, unfortunately, crime has really become an issue.
Yeah.
And what I find happening more and more every day is you don't find as many people getting married anymore. So you have a lot of single females coming to you to buy a home for themselves. So they do want the gated security, the gated community. They do want the extra security. They do want an enclosed carport. Because for a single woman living alone, it is a scary experience.
Yeah.
You also find clients looking for things like amenities. So, they want easy accessibility to their supermarkets, restaurants, schools. For some who may be sacrificing buying a second vehicle, so that they can afford this home, they may want access or easy access to public transportation. People also want a sense of community. So, for example, persons with younger kids enjoy being in gated communities. Again, one, their children are free to roam and run and have a good time within a safe gated community. And there are also other persons around their age groups with kids, and they can have that sense of community. And people say a sense of community is lost because of the virtual world, but as human beings, we still look for community. We want to still go out and talk to our neighbor. We still want to see our children riding their bicycles with the neighbor's kids.
What about those persons who, you take them they're interested in a certain type of home. Say they want a modern aesthetic home. You take them to the home and every single showing that you have with them, they like all. They could never decide on, what they want. How do you deal with that?
Well, it's an enjoyable experience because I literally empathize and I understand. If you're going to be spending in excess of $1 million, you obviously want choice. It's not like you're going to the supermarket and just picking up something off the shelf. Right? And or, if I pick up this cracker today and it doesn't taste good, I can just go buy another one. I mean, no, it doesn't really work like that. When I buy this house, I can't just say I don't like this house. I'm going to buy another house. So we have done it on several occasions. We go from house to house to house to house. And sometimes they like all. But in getting to know your clients a little more intimately, you start to realize what they want. So for example, recently I had a client, she really wanted to be close to her mom. And she was looking outside of where her mom lives in the West, and she reached as far as East and Central, just to eventually reach back to the West. And eventually, what I had to say to them is, here, what we could do. Let's run a spreadsheet.
Mm-hmm.
And basically, just like Amazon, real estate agents and brokers, we use filters as well. So the filters will go like budget. So just like you would go on Amazon and you want a shoe. You want a shoe that's $50,
Right.
beige in color, XYZ, you use filters, right? So in real estate, we use filters as well.
Yeah.
The filters would be budget, location, the amount of bedrooms, the HOA fee, and so we go. And hence the reason I mentioned earlier, we need to get to know our clients intimately. We need to walk this journey with them, because the more you get to know your client, the easier it becomes to help them select a home.
Yeah.
And then you start to also see what's the priority. So like, for example, when I was buying my home, I don't want to say how many years ago because I'm not really that old, but when I was buying my home, I wanted kids, and I knew I wanted kids.
Yeah.
And I wanted to be close to my parents. I love my parents.
Yeah.
And I could have gotten an entire house, let's say in Central, for the same money I was spending to get a townhouse. But I opted for a townhouse just to be close to my parents.
Yeah.
And knowing that, if I wanted to go out, I wanted to have some fun, if I needed someone to help me pick up my kids from school, but my parents were
right
nearby.
there. Yeah. Mirai has all the filters that you mentioned.
Great. and that is what we need, because, as I said, buying a home is not easy.
Yeah.
And sometimes after seeing 10 or 20 homes, you do need to put things on paper, put things into perspective. So as I said, by the time you're probably on your fifth home, you're probably going to forget what the first home had or what you love. And you see, the thing about it is that home ownership journey is a very exciting experience for the client.
Yeah.
And, as agents, we need to share in that excitement. It's their home. It's a place that they're going to build a life, build a family. It's somewhere they're going to be for the rest of their lives. And on that note, they need to make the right choice on the first go. As I said, there's no substituting it. Like if I make a bad choice now, well, I could just
sell it and then get the next one.
It doesn't really work that way. So it's okay. I am always happy to walk that journey with clients. I always tell them, don't worry, calm down. Nobody is rushing you. Actually, the other day I was so delighted, and I felt like, I felt really great about myself, because there was a client I showed a property about a year and a half ago, and they called me back, and I'm so happy they didn't think of me like, well, she's not going to want to show me a property because it's a year later. They were comfortable to call me back and say, hey, my income has increased. I'm not looking again. Probably I can get something better. I didn't buy something back then. That's always a great experience.
Yeah. As we progress with the discussion, I personally want to know, is it scary buying a home?
You have no idea how scary it is. I remember when I was younger, I was going to buy a home, and one of our friends actually lent us money for our down payment, which we had to pay back over time.
Right.
And I'm thinking like, okay, we have this money for this down payment, but now we have a mortgage as well. Like, can we afford that? It is scary. You're taking a 30-year or 20 to 30-year loan, and you're probably thinking, I could get laid off, I could get in an accident, like anything could happen. So it is a very scary experience. I mean, anyone that is going into this big investment, obviously, is going to be scary. But it's okay, because you know what? People are still there 30 years later, 20 years. Actually, some people pay off their mortgage even earlier. Some people utilize the equity from their homes and they use it for their kids. Universities, they buy second homes. They use it. A lot of time, one factor that a lot of persons don't take into consideration is the concept of equity. The fact that your mortgage is going down over time, but the value of your property is increasing. Your income is increasing, and you have this money at your disposal, all because why? You purchased the home.
What is the foundation that you build House Heroes on to, assist home buyers with these emotions that they go through when they, looking to purchase a home?
Care. You have to care about people, a lot of our clients are walking into this home ownership experience with no prior knowledge of what a purchase or sale agreement is.
Yeah.
They get this long 2-page document with so many clauses in it. You have to care, you have to be patient, you have to be trustworthy, and you must have a high level of integrity and knowledge in terms of you are guiding this person step by step and you're saying to them, here, what, you want to buy a property? You're putting an offer letter, and these are the conditions under which you are putting this offer letter in. Once it is, a lawyer drafts a sale agreement and you put your 10% down payment. Again, big words like escrow, like you're telling me, oh my God, I have to put $120,000 in escrow. What is escrow? It is our job to care.
Yeah.
And to be knowledgeable, to be able to explain, to be trustworthy, to have a high level of integrity, that whoever it is that's sitting in front of you, they know that this is a professional guiding them.
So I just want to, thank you for sharing all your knowledge, given your experience in the industry. So I just want to thank House Heroes, and yeah, I hope that we can build on this partnership more and more. And I look forward to having you for another podcast very soon.
Yes, and I just want to say thank you so much as well for having House Heroes being featured here this morning. We always want our clients, and internal and external, every single person we meet, we are the heroes of real estate, and every and anyone could own a home. If it is you don't have the money today, let's start working on it. So you call any one of our agents, you call myself, you call Kurt, you call Kim, you call Rowan, Tiffany, Aaliyah, Jody. Nobody is rushing you.
Yeah.
Be calm, take your time. If you don't have the money, it's okay.
Yeah.
But you know what? You could start saving today. Remember, life is a journey. So I always ask clients, be patient with yourself, keep your eyes on your goals, and there is a light at the end of the tunnel. Stay focused on your dreams and your ambitions, and if it is to own a home, you will get there.
Yeah.
You may not get there today, but you will get there once you're focused, and we are here to walk the journey with you.
Nice. Yeah? So thanks so much.